Why do they never go in for me? Hello VC, I'm back again, yes, with yet another vinyl Wodge. It's been a while since I did a vinyl Wodge, it seems. Been doing tiny Visconti videos and vinyl tags and all sorts of malarkey and joining in the fun on the VC. But here we go with another bog standard vinyl Wodge. This is going to be kind of a big one, so it might take a little while. I'm warning you, it might be a longer video because I thought I'd do a double Wodge. It's a mix of eBay purchases and a haul I got of vinyl from a car boot sale that I went to around the end of November. This shows how far behind I am in my Wodges, really. Stupid amount of records still to go through. So on with the eBay purchases. Let's just shift that around a bit. There we go. So I'm more central. Here we've got, right, so we'll start off with this one. Now, back, I think it might even, the Vinyl Wodge 75, possibly? I picked up a copy of Lone Justice's first album, and I was very chuffed with it. But when I received it, I realised I'd bid on the wrong record. There were two copies of it going. One was, well, they were both for the same price, and I clicked on the wrong one and bought that. It wasn't expensive, so it was pretty, it was not much money. I really wanted the record. It wasn't that much money, so I bought it. And then when it came here, I realised, I thought this was meant to be sealed. So then I checked my history and I went, oh no, you idiot. So I went back on eBay, and it was still there, the sealed copy. So this is the sealed copy of Lone Justice. It's not sealed anymore, of course. This one has the inner sleeve with it, which I was really chuffed to have. So I think this is an original copy, and it was still sealed when I got it, completely sealed. So I was so chuffed. This is a brilliant album. I witted on about it last time, so I'm just showing it again, but fantastic album. Right, I also picked up a copy of, I think I got some of these from the same seller, but I can't remember which ones. I'm terrible like that. If I see something I want, then I look to see, then I check if they do combine postage, and then I look to see what else they've got. And if there's anything going cheap that I want to try, or if there's anything that I really would quite like, then bung those in as well. So I think some of these, one seller, I can't remember which ones, but the next one I picked up was this, Voice of the Beehive, Let It Be. This is their first album. Yeah, they only did, as far as I know, they only did 2 albums. They might have released more just on CD, I think, in the 90s. Maybe later on, I'm not sure about that. But this is brilliant female-fronted indie pop from the late 80s. I think this was released in 88. James Griffiths showed this not so long ago, and I think that's what got me into actually getting my backside into getting a copy of this, because I really love it. I've got it on CD already. There's a lyric sheet. And it's got quite nice labels. I was looking to see whether they had a listing of... yeah, I was just looking at the... God, it's in tiny script. That's why I was taking so long. Sorry about that pause. Just to see who was on the record, and it was indeed Woody from Madness who drummed on it. I think Steve Whitty's just shown one of their latest singles, their Partridge Family cover that they did. That's on the second album, which I got on CD. But yeah, it's great. I don't think it's got a particularly 80s production. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe James, because he's heard it, will differ, but I don't think it's got a particularly 80s production on it, and I think it's aged pretty well. I think it holds up there with like more recent bands like Best Coast, Dum Dum Girls. It's the same sort of girly. That's such a crap word to use. I'm going to try and find another word. That kind of feminine indie pop that was started. You know, it's like that 60s, sort of informed by the 60s girl groups, taking in, you know, indie, that kind of sound really. So anybody who's into like Best Coast or any of that kind of stuff, I think they'd really enjoy this record. Really good stuff. Right, now on my vinyl tag I said that my blind, I think it was my blind spot artist was Graham Parker and The Rumour. Well, Graham Parker is still my blind spot artist, but I managed to fill in a gap with this record. So it's an album by his backing band, The Rumour, and I just love that cover. I mean, as Lise will know, I'm a big fan of Paisley shirts, and there are some Paisley shirts there on Paisley. I don't know, maybe it's like fabric or something rather than wallpaper, but fabulous Paisley. Great background. So this was released, I think, in 1980. Does it say on the label? On Stiff Records. Yep, 1980 on Stiff. I'll show the label. I'm actually taking time out for once to show some of the labels. I suppose I shouldn't, because this is going to take forever if I do this all for everyone. It's good pub rock, I'd have to class it as. It's that kind of, it doesn't really veer into new wave. It's kind of, it's pub rock, but it's highly enjoyable. The musicianship on it is great, and they were a rocking band when they got going. So that's a good pickup. Right, I've been after this record. I've been meaning to buy this record for a long time. Now, what I think, yeah, James did another video where he said, are there any records that you have been waiting a long time to buy? And I think probably this I have. So this is Hysteria by Human League. This was the follow-up to Dare. They took an age to record this. An absolute age. Came out, yeah, so it took at least 2.5 years, 3 years to record it. There were all kinds of difficulties with the recording of it. I think, who started producing it? It was it Joe Callis? Maybe, I'm not sure. I can't remember who originally recorded it. I've forgotten. I did look it up and I've forgotten it again. But they left halfway through. It was kind of met with a great big meh when it came out, because it actually wasn't, it's not on a par with Dare. It really isn't. But it's got what was one, I think, a criminally underrated single on it. The Lebanon, where they tried to do some social comments and political comment on a single. I thought it worked really well. They got slated for being sort of kindergarten politics, but I thought it did really well. So you've got The Lebanon, there's a brilliant song, singles of Louise and Life on Your Own, which is great. Some of Phil Oakey's singing is a bit strained on some of this, but where he kind of tones it back down, and he kind of croons it a bit more, top-notch stuff. And I think this is a really underrated record. So I wanted this when it came out in 1984. So that makes 33 years I waited to get this record, to pick it up. And I finally got it. So Hysteria by the Human League. Marvellous. Right. Okay. Another band I really, really love, and I've seen them live at Beautiful Days. When I went to Beautiful Days for a few years, one of the bands I saw there. Love this lot. Compared with the Pogues, but you can't really compare anybody with the Pogues, to be honest. They're sort of out on their own. They had a genius for a writer. But this lot, really, really love them. The Men They Couldn't Hang. So this is their second album, How Green Is the Valley. On here, it's lots of folk storytelling, kind of urban folk. They Goes to Cable Street deals with fascist riots in the 30s. You've got lots of historical songs, you've got love songs, but it's all done in a kind of, it's folky, but it's not really punky. It's not, because it got called folk punk when they were around, but they kind of had a punky attitude, but it's more like pretty indie, really, if you want a true reflection of the sound. Really good record. Really, I love the Men. I really do. I think they're a great band. Really, I've sort of forgotten now. Really, nobody really knows who they are. But I like them so much that I picked up this one, which is probably their best album. This is Waiting for Bonaparte. Now, songs on here are fantastic. I think I like them so much because at times they really sound like another band I love. Now, I love the Levellers. I really love them. I know they get hit on for sort of coming across somewhat naive at times, but I think their hearts are in the right place, and I love their music. Now, at times, some of these tracks on these two albums could be Levellers tracks. They sound so similar to the Levellers sound. So they must have listened to the Men They Couldn't Hang. They must have done. This one is kind of a mix of historical. It's almost a 50-50 split of tracks that are about sort of 18th and 19th century. So you've got tracks about the smugglers from the 1800s. You've got tracks about seamen in the 1850s. You've got tracks about a bounty hunter, riding trains to London, but you've also got tracks that are set in more modern times, and they're kind of more love songs, I guess. Colours is a great song, which is banned at the time because there's a line on it. Where is it? It's all about a mutiny. Like group of seamen rising up against the Navy hierarchy. But there's one line, oh yeah, all you beggars, all you builders, all you come here to watch me hang. I think at the time when that was released as a single, which was about 85, the Sharpsville Six were in, I think it was the Sharpsville Six, were in the news, and they were hung, and the BBC said, oh, we can't play that. No. Which is a shame because it looked like it was going to be a hit. So it stalled at, I don't know, number 56 or something like that, which is a shame because they could have really done with a hit. They deserved a hit, really. Just absolutely brilliant. Right, there we go. So that's my eBay purchases. So the next batch of records are from a car boot sale I went to at the end of November. Got some really nice pickups from there. It's amazing what you can pick up at boot sales. Sometimes you go there and they're absolutely awful, and sometimes you go there and you pick up some marvellous stuff. So the first record I saw this, and it was just on a stall, all by itself, the only record there, and I thought, right, I'm having this. Bluegrass Spectacular. This, I love this. Played this more than once. This is great stuff. So the only artist I know on this, or the artists I knew, were Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs and the Foggy Mountain Boys. But every single track on here is a winner. Absolutely fantastic. On the Starday label, straight out of Nashville. released on London in the UK. It's a finest mono pressing. Sounds incredible. I don't think it's hardly ever been played, to be honest. I'm not going to get it out because I'll be ages putting it back in again. But it's a fantastic record. I've got to do a little bit of repair on it there, but there's a little tear there. I've got to do some repair, do something with it so it doesn't get worse. Terrific stuff. So I picked that up for £1. Absolutely ecstatic that I picked that up. So cool. Right, then I found, which order? Then I did, then it was these ones. Right, we'll do these next. So I was wandering along, rooting around, I saw a record box open, and I went and had a look, and I couldn't believe what I found. So I pulled them out of the record box, and I went up to the woman, and they also had some CDs, and I pulled out some really good CDs like Nick Cave and really good stuff. So I brought them up to the woman who was running out. I said, "How much for these?" Because I thought, hey, when you see what I've picked up, it's going to be expensive, I reckon. And she said, "It's that one. Oh, that one's expensive." I'll tell you which one she thought was expensive. So in my head, she was going, "Oh, here we go, 20 quid or something." £5. So it's £5 for 4 records and 4 CDs. And I nearly bit her hand off, to be honest. It's like, whoa, where's my money? Wallop. Right, I'm off before you change your mind. So the first one I got, which isn't, it's okay, was this one, which is Look Here by 10cc. Despite this, which is what I thought was the original album title, the album title's up here. So I think the album design's by, is it Hypnosis or somebody famous did the Hypnosis. It is a terrible cover. I think it's just terrible. The record is 10cc past their prime, unfortunately. There's not an awful lot to love about this. It's okay. It's well after Godley and Cream left the band. But what's nice is it did come with the poster, which I shall open up. There we go. Which would have made a much better cover if they just had that, which I think the American version might have done. Hang on, I've got to get this back together now. Is that right? Have I got that in all right? Nope. Must be that way. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's okay. But seeing as it only costs 62.5p after you've divided everything up, it's marvellous. Right. Then I got a couple of 12 inches. I got, well, of course I'm going to pick this up. So this is Lay All Your Love on Me. Only released on a 12 inch, I found out since. Before Blue Monday, this was the best selling 12 inch only single in the UK. Yeah, I've got both tracks, but I just had to have this. Bit loose, I've got to be careful about getting that out. So it's Lay All Your Love on Me, back with On and On and On. Both of them off Super Trooper, but I couldn't turn that down. I had to get that. I've since forgot. This is actually my second copy of this. Now, to show you, right, so I'm going to pull it out. So it is the picture disc of Monster by L7. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one, because I did buy it from new. It was brand new when I bought the other copy. But I'm glad it only cost 62.5p. But maybe I'll put it up. Maybe I'll frame it and put this one up. I quite like it anyway. I quite like that. There's L7. Can't go wrong with a bit of L7. And then the one that I thought was really going to bump the price of the whole batch up was this one, which I was amazed to find in a boot sale. There's a couple of skips on it, so I'm going to have to do some very careful restoration work on it. I'm watching videos on how to do it at the moment, and I think I need a little bit more equipment to get rid of the skips. But is this one, Stoosh by Skunk and Nancy. This was their second album, released in 1996 on One Little Indian. I mean, the cover is in great shape. There's a few scratches and stuff on the vinyl, but there's a no, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Yeah, a few scratches on the vinyl, but seeing as it only cost 62.5p, I was absolutely over the moon with that. And skips or not, it is still worth having, because there's no way that I'm going to find a copy of this for less than about 40 quid otherwise. Seeing as it was released during the 90s. 90s vinyl is, you know, anything that's sold, the indie or that kind of stuff. So for people who don't know this band, they were kind of pretty in your face. What's her name? Oh, I've forgotten her name. She was pretty in your face anyway. Sort of got tied in a little bit with Britpop just because they were around at the same time. But this is a cracking record. Really heavy, real personal politics in there. Skin, that's her name, because I've got some of her solo CDs. Skin, really, really in your face, up front, strong woman, great stuff. Then I picked up this one, and this I've had this on my turntable so much since I got it, because the vinyl was in perfect shape. I really don't think it had been played at all, because it's lovely. A little bit of water damage here, but if I ever find another cover, then I'll swap it. But Love Sexy by Prince, what an album! What an album! It came after Sign of the Times, so I think it sort of, at the time, I think it was unfairly compared to Sign of the Times, which was probably his magnum opus. Not my favourite Prince album, but it was considered to be one of the greatest albums of all time, which I can understand, even if it's not my favourite. My favourite's Parade. But I think this is really the last of his great albums, to be honest. Got one of my favourite singles ever by him was his Alphabet Street. Probably that and Sign of the Times are my favourite Prince singles. I think they're both magnificent songs. Alphabet Street's funky as heck. Glam Slam is a wonderful track. Dance On, brilliant. When Two Are in Love, I Wish You Heaven, Positivity. This is just a brilliant listen from start to finish, and what a cover. Apparently, the guy who took the cover picture, it was really meant to be Prince fully clothed on the cover, but Prince was mucking about with outfits and he couldn't decide, so the photographer just said, well, why don't you take it all off? And Prince did, and there you have the cover. And that is one of the most memorable covers, I think, ever, really. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Just magnificent. Right, so there we go. So just round off a couple of jazz records. Just a quick story about this one. I hate it when you're delving through a box of records and then somebody's hovering around, and not only do they not wait for you, they're picking stuff that you've picked up anyway. I had one of these right in front of me, and this farm came down trying to get this record, and I thought, hold on, that's mine. Why are people so have no manners anymore? And this was an old guy. It's like, go get to... Honestly. Anyway, I managed to keep hold of them, and I'm so glad I did, because I love these two records. I think I finally got a place where I can start investigating jazz properly. I think I'm not into the trumpet and the brass stuff so much, which seems to be what most people are into. I really like the piano stuff, which is kind of strange because I'm not really, when it comes to piano ballads in rock, I'm not the greatest fan of those. But there's something about the sound of jazz piano that I find kind of nostalgic, kind of soothing, quite beautiful. I think I finally found my properly into jazz. So I'll be looking out for more stuff. And if anybody knows of any great players or records of that genre, like jazz, piano based jazz, that kind of stuff, then let me know. Keyboard jazz, I don't know. Not fusion. Not a big fusion fan. Although I know there's a couple of I Want to Get Headhunters by Herbie Hancock. I know I like that one. But anyway, this is Errol Garner, and this is All of Me. Recorded in the late 40s in 3 different sessions. One session in 1945 and 2 in 1949. Reissued in I think this was a 1969 reissue. I did find it out. I think it's 69. It's late 60s, I think, or early 70s. On the Green Capital Realm Jazz, or Jazz Realm, I'm not sure. This is lovely. Absolutely love it. It's that stuff that what's the guy who did the Harry Met Sally soundtrack? Anyway, there's loads of people who've done this kind of piano sort of stuff. I guess maybe that's where I like it from, because that soundtrack of that movie is full of piano-based jazz. So maybe that's where it comes from. I don't know, because that is one of my favourite movies of all time. That time I saw it again, actually. Beautiful stuff. Love it. And the other one I got, brilliant. I've got to investigate these two guys. I've got another Count Basie album. I have to stick that on again. But this is Oscar Peterson and Count Basie. Satch and Josh. So this was recorded and released, well, I think it was recorded in 74 and released in 75. Yeah, recorded December 2nd, 74. Count Basie, Oscar Peterson, guitar had Ray Brown, piano. Freddie Green was on the guitar, Ray Brown on bass, Louis Belson on drums. That means nothing to me. I'm sure it means something to somebody out there. But this is brilliant playing. Absolutely fantastic. The way that they combine their styles. I mean, you can tell that I don't know who's who. You know, I'm a novice at jazz. But you can tell there's 2 distinct styles being intermeshed in this record. And it just sounds fantastic. So there we go. Vinyl Wodge 77. Done and dusted. Right, hopefully I'll be back again soon with another Vinyl Wodge. I've just got stupid amounts of vinyl to show. This will keep me going. The next video will probably be a CD haul. I've been in between all the vinyl. I've been listening to silly amounts of music on CD in the car and at home. And I've got a stupid amount of CDs. So what I might do is do one big CD thing, just show an album, sum it up in a couple of words, which will be hard for me because I do witter, and then on to the next one. So hopefully that will be the next one. And yeah, there we go. So barring, I am gonna do, I don't usually do them anymore, but competition entry is in the pipeline as well. So there's plenty of content coming up. So keep watching all those lovely new subscribers that have joined me in the last month. It's been one of the busiest times on the channel, I think, for subscribers. Who subscribed recently? DJ Trish, Vinyl Victim's niece. She's got a nice channel as well. Who else? Roger. Oh, what's his name? Jolly Roger? Roger Bones? Oh, I can't remember his name. So sorry, Roger. He's got a good channel. I really enjoyed his videos. He did a great one about one part of the thread on local musicians or local heroes on the part of Texas that he's from. Great video that was. I should really comment on that. Terrible. I think I might have done. Can't remember. Anyway, enough is enough. I've witted on long enough. It is now it's going to be about half an hour video. So there you go. Plenty for you to feast on. Right. So anyway, see you all again soon. Cheers, VC. Bye.